Title ** Ukraine's grain export crisis, Russian strikes threaten global food security. Intro music * midnight to 0:30. Host, welcome to Global Insights, a podcast exploring the latest developments in international trade and economics. I'm your host, Naim, and today we're discussing the impact of Russian strikes on Ukraine's grain exports. Joining me is, guest's name, an expert in international trade and agriculture. Welcome to the show. Segment 1, Introduction and Context, 0:30 to 5 o'clock. Host, Ukraine is one of the world's top grain exporters, with the country's fertile black soil and favorable climate making it an ideal location for wheat, corn, and barley production. However, the ongoing conflict with Russia has put the country's grain exports at risk. Recent missile hits on ports near Odessa have raised concerns about the safety of grain shipments. Can you tell us more about the situation, guest's name? Guest, yes, the situation is indeed dire. The port of Odessa is a critical hub for Ukraine's grain exports, with millions of tons of grain passing through it every year. The recent strikes have damaged infrastructure and disrupted operations, putting the entire export season at risk. Segment 2, Impact on grain exports, 5 to 10 o'clock. Host, what are the implications of these strikes for Ukraine's grain exports? How will this affect the global market? Guest, the impact will be significant. Ukraine is expected to have a bumper harvest this year, but if the grain can't be exported, it will lead to a significant surplus in the domestic market, causing prices to drop. This will not only hurt Ukrainian farmers but also affect global food security, as Ukraine is a key supplier of grain to many countries. Segment 3, Global Consequences, 10 to 1500 hours. Host, that's a sobering assessment. What are the potential consequences for global food security if Ukraine's grain exports are disrupted? Guest, the consequences will be far-reaching. Many countries, particularly in Africa and the Middle East, rely heavily on Ukrainian grain imports. A disruption to these supplies could lead to food shortages, price increases, and social unrest. It's essential that the international community works together to find a solution to this crisis. Conclusion, 15 to 1600 hours. Host, thank you, guest's name, for sharing your expertise with us today. It's clear that the situation in Ukraine has significant implications for global food security. We'll continue to monitor the situation and provide updates as more information becomes available. That's all for today's episode of Global Insights. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time. Outro music * 16 to 16:30.